Welcome back to Arise Entertainment 360. Now, you may recognize our next guests from shows like Fox and Friends or our very own Arise Network.
Yes, indeedy. He's an Emmy Award-winning journalist who's now the co-owner of the Soundbite restaurant in New York's Hell's Kitchen. Chef Julian Phillips, welcome to Arise 360.
Yes, I'm back home.
Oh, welcome back.
Right.
So nice to have you here with us.
Yeah, great to be here.
And thank you so much for bringing this here with you.
We all know this is Shannon's favorite part of the show.
I'm taking all this back with me,
Oh,
Shannon.
no. We won't make it out the door. It smells too good. But before we get to tasting, tell us a little bit more about why you decided to start the business.
Well, I've been cooking for 30 years. I've been cooking in restaurants from here to Wuhan, China. And it's always been a passion of mine. And it's something that I wanted to do, getting out of news and kind of somewhat out of it right now, not totally. And we decided to put this together in something that marriages news with jazz, because my wife is a Grammy-selected jazz vocalist. And so we're having a great time in Hell's Kitchen.
Wow, I mean, surrounded by celebrities and married to one too.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's the better half for sure.
Yes, very much so.
So talk to me about some of your specialities.
Well, you know, I developed this fusion of Cajun, Southern, and Italian. It's something I just developed. I don't know where it came from, but the main thing behind it are the blackened wings. So basically, it's a Cajun wing, and what I've married the Cajun with is with Italian. Say with a wing here, we have 6 dipping sauces. 2 are with Italian. A Puntanesca sauce, which is made on premises.
Wait, which ones are which?
Okay, this is a Puntanesca. This is pesto. Puntanesca is a very robust Italian sauce. It's kind of fishy because it has anchovies in it, and Kalamata onions and olives and a lot of black pepper, red peppers.
I love the texture.
This looks like a Nigerian stew.
Right, it does.
It just looks like African rice obe.
There are certain foods around the world that are very emotional. Italians are very emotional about your food, and it's rich in spices. You go to Africa, you go to China, you go to certain parts of Europe, and you'll find robust spices, and that's what you're going to find in this cuisine.
Okay.
Not too spicy, because people here in New York don't like things that are too spicy, but it marriages a number of things. We have pastas and fishes and all those kinds of things, and you kind of meld them all together, and there you have the Cajun, Southern, and Italian cuisine.
So talk to me about that fusion, because that's really interesting sounding to me. Cajun, Southern, I can understand. Italian, that's like out of left field.
Again, you take a wing, and then you dip it in a Puntanesca
Wait,
sauce.
you said take a wing.
Yeah.
There we go. And a dip it
Piggy in the middle.
Okay.
And there you have the fusion of Cajun and Italian.
Great, too.
And then you have pesto. And then we have pastas also that you have there with let's say, for instance, you have a pasta with, say, for instance, a blackened branzini over Puntanesca. You know, and you meld all these different flavors and spices, and that's where it comes in. And no one's really doing this. And they always say there's really nothing new under the sun, but this is quite different.
This is different.
I mean, it tastes great even without the sauce. So how did you perfect this blackening technique? What are you doing?
Because that's quite hard to get right. Like a lot of things just end up burnt.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, it's a matter of what they say, timing, grasshopper, timing. So you know, you use a cast iron skillet and you heat it up to its highest degree without any kind of butter or fat in it. We use olive oil. You know, because it has a low threshold for heat, so it's smoky. So it's kind of hard to do this in your home if you have a weak hood. A lot of people who blacken on the outside. But what we do with the wing, because it's the highest fat content of any part of the chicken, you blacken it. But you blacken it and you put it in the olive oil. You blacken it, and then after that you finish it off in the oven. Because you can't just blacken. Other things like fish and stuff like that, you can blacken right away. At the high heat, sears in the juices on the inside, and it has that dark charcoal type of look on the outside.
Yeah, and that's what makes it gives it its own flavor, where it's like charcoal, and it's like you could just eat the skin, and it just tastes amazing by itself.
Yeah, it does. And you see, I can't stand.
I mean, I feel like you might need a room.
Napkin, that's what I need.
There you go.
It actually is much healthier than the average buffalo wing, because it is black and it's not fried. Yeah, so that's the whole thing. So I'm also selling the healthier content of it. But what the anchor bar was to the buffalo wing, we want the Soundbite restaurant to be to the blackened wing. So it'll be the home of the blackened wing.
And it's really place to go get it.
Yes, it's doing very, very well. We went through 700 pounds of chicken wings in the first week.
Wow, 700 pounds?
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Now talk to me about these famed dipping sauces that these chicken wings go with.
You mentioned this one already.
Yeah, Puntanesca. Then you have the pesto sauce, which I mentioned.
Oh, this is pesto sauce.
Yeah, then you have the Cajun remoulade sauce. You have a barbecue sauce. a garlic sauce, and a buffalo sauce.
Wow.
Buffalo barbecue I really didn't want, but my partner said, you got to.
You have to.
So why don't we have celery and blue cheese? But we put it in, and people are actually, using it. So I use a Kansas City barbecue sauce because I love barbecue, and out of all the barbecues that are out there, Midwestern, Texas, Southeastern, I like Midwestern the best.
Okay.
So it's a great. Well, you have most of your barbecue. Okay, for instance, Northeastern Memphis is more of a vinegar-based sauce.
It's more thicker too,
It can be.
Okay.
You find in Texas you have a lot of dry rub, as the same within the Midwest, but they're different flavors. So people are very particular about their barbecue.
Yes, they are.
I happen to like Midwestern barbecue more than any of the others, but that's just a personal choice.
Okay, now before we run out of time, we have to make sure we get to the mac and cheese as well, because this looks amazing.
Basic.
I don't need it on camera. What are you trying to do to me, huh?
Make me feel like I'm with you here. Come on.
Talk to me about your mac and cheese, chef.
It's basic Southern smoked mac and cheese.
Okay.
And
There's nothing basic about this, please.
Well, no, listen.
This is delicious.
Well, thank you. But basically, you're talking about. I use two different types of cheese. There's mild and sharp cheddar cheese, butter, milk, eggs. It's fat.
Give away your secrets.
No, it is what it is, and I use a certain ingredient to give it that smoky flavor. The herbs I use on it, and so you can get it plain, but you can also get it with. Okay, so you marry Southern with Cajun, blackened shrimp, lobster, alligator sausage.
Wait, alligator?
Yeah, alligator.
Oh,
Alligator sausage.
Yeah.
Is it mixed in or just sprinkled on top?
No, you put it on the top.
I had crocodile once, and I thought it tastes like briny chicken. What does alligator taste like?
Well, alligator can be tough, but you mix the alligator, the purveyor mixes it with a little bit of pork to tenderize it. And so you have that, and of course it's very spicy as well, like the andouille sausage. It's not gamey. It doesn't taste like chicken, which everybody says it does. It's a really nice, flavorful, and people are eating it, and they're starting to buy it. At first, like, nah. Yeah. But then when they try, that's not so bad. And that's starting to sell as well.
Wow, well, you're selling well, and a lot of people are coming to your restaurant, and like you said, it's a mix between some of the media and music. A lot of celebrities are coming to your spot.
Yeah, we've had a lot of media greats. Byron Pitts, Bill Whitaker. Of course, Randall Pinkston, Ron Allen, and some celebrities have been threatening to come from the theater world.
Threatening.
I've heard. I don't know if I should mention the names. If someone's supposed
Put them
to
on
be
blast.
down.
Yeah. Put them on. Name them and shame them.
No. I'm not going to do that because I just heard some big wig is coming down. In fact, he's in town for a couple of weeks on Broadway doing I think you kind of know who he is. A, B, C, D. With a W?
We don't want to shout. I thought you wanted to put them on blast.
No.
Okay.
No. I don't want because who knows if they'll come. But the buzz is getting out there. Barbara, of course, she's the quintessential jazz vocalist.
We have to talk about her because, first and foremost, we have the same surname. Hey, Auntie. Secondly, what is it like being in business with your spouse?
Yeah.
Barbara and I have been married for 34 years, and she is truly my best friend. And the thing about Barbara is, when somebody's with you through thick and thin, through your highest and lowest points, you got somebody. I wanted to do something for her. I could have opened this up by myself, but I wanted a spot for her to sing. For African-American female jazz vocalists, if you were coming back to the world now, you would think that they didn't exist. So the Carmen McRae's and Nancy Wilsons and all those folks. So I wanted a place for her. Yeah, I wanted really a place for her. So now she has a place where she can sing and she can book. So she's in control.
So you get those live performances when you're coming and you're eating, enjoying food. You also
every Friday and Saturday we have live jazz. We're booked up all the way through April. We're going to extend that to jazz brunches and gospel brunches on Sunday. Probably Valentine's Day we're going to have something there. We'll just have a pianist come in. And what is better than on a Sunday morning for brunch, you get your New York Times, you have jazz, live pianists there in the background, you're reading, you're eating my frittatas.
All right now.
Making me hungry.
So I cook and she sings.
Well, for those people that don't have a husband to buy them restaurants, what advice do you give to people who want to open up their own restaurant? Because a lot of people have this dream, especially in New York, of opening a restaurant.
Pray. It is extremely difficult under any circumstance. There's a lot going on. You know, there's a lot of things, permits, all sorts of stuff, people with their hands out. It's very, very difficult. So if you do not have a passion, see, there's a difference. There's some people say, oh yeah, I want to open a restaurant because I like to cook and I like to talk to people. No, these days, in days of old, you could open up a restaurant and cook, but now you have to deal with the New York City Health Department. You have to be a cook, you have to be an attorney, you have to be an accountant.
And it has to be unique as well, because there's tons of restaurants.
Yeah, a lot of times, you know, Shannon, there's nothing new under the sun, but you have to have something. You have to have a niche. And if you don't have that, you're opening up something that's just continental. It's very, very difficult.
Absolutely.
We now have a wing spot for blackened wings.
Yes, indeed. You certainly have carved your niche, and we will be delving into this during the break.
Right
Stick around. We've got a lot more Rise Entertainment 360 for you, and I will be devouring this mac and cheese for me. After the break. No, Brian's doing this to me. You're going to eat off camera.
She's watching her figure.
I'm not. No, I eat so
beautiful.
much. I just find the act of eating on camera revolting. Look at that. I can feel it. I can feel the saliva, all that sugar.
Feed, feed.
Feed my lovely.